Hello and welcome to the demo video for RahiTuber. Now this is an application that sort of expands on the concept of a kind of PNGTuber, which is like an avatar which uses images that flip back and forth as you talk, so to give the illusion of something like your avatar's just talking for you. So this expands on that with a few different concepts. So we've got a layer system where you can add multiple things in and they can all react differently with these various options. And we've got animated sprite sheets as well, so you can go further than PNGs if you wanted something a bit more lively. So let me just add my first one. Let's call it ED, since that's the name of my avatar. So each of these is one of the states. Currently there's nothing in there. I just load in my idle one. So this is a sprite sheet, so it's got two columns. What I've done here is I've pressed this little animation icon here, and now I can put two columns in. It'll work the rest out for you, but you can enter it manually if you want to. Now that's bobbing up and down as I talk. All the way down the bottom here we've got position and scale things, so I'm just going to adjust this to go where I want it. So now that's a bit closer to where I like. So obviously there's nothing in a talking slot, so if I now add my talking sprite sheet, that's 3x2, so you can see it's, at the moment it just assumes it's a static image, but if I press this animation options here again, so 3x2, it's worked out there are 6 frames, and now when I talk it's going to animate that properly. We've also got blinking turned on, but there's nothing there, so if I add a blinking animation, I need to add the picture first. Now I can click the animation options again. Let's save that. See her blinking, there you go. She blinked. So when I talk, it basically goes, is it louder than this sort of percentage? I can make this more sensitive, which I think I actually need to for this microphone. So there we are. Now you can change how long it is between each blink as well. If I want them to be blinking really frequently, I can turn that down. So now it's roughly once every 2.5 seconds, something like that, because I've got, so let's say 1 second and no variation, that's exactly once a second. Yeah? Now if I add variation in, it's going to be between 0 and 4 seconds essentially. So let's turn that all the way up to roughly that. So that's what I want really. You can notice that she's bobbing up and down as my voice gets louder. That's because we've got this loudness bouncing mode here. You can also switch it to regular if you prefer. So now what she'll be doing is kind of wobbling up and down every time their voice crosses this threshold over here. So some people prefer this style. I quite like the loudness one, so I'm going to pop that back to where it was. We've also got this breathing motion. Let me make that really obvious for you so that you can see. So every time you're not talking, your avatar will be sort of breathing. You can change the frequency of that as well. So that's kind of hyperventilating a little bit. But yeah, let me just put that back to how I like it. So just a sort of gentle breathing. And we can also completely turn that off as well. So you can see she's completely still now. You can also turn off this bouncing. There's a none option. So now it's just static and talking when I talk. But yeah, I like to give people these options so you can have a bit more liveliness to it. So there we are. Right, so that's just one layer. I can add another one if I like, so I'm going to put another one in and I'm going to call it Shades. So that is at the bottom right now. If I put anything in here, it's going to be behind the other one, but you can use these two arrows to move things up and down. So if I press that one, that's going to go up in the list. Now, I don't want this to do any real motion. There's no need for any talking or blinking, it's just shades, so I can turn that off. And you can see at the moment that it's kind of moving separately to the avatar there. So I've just exaggerated this to show you that there. But with this motion inherit option, I can click ED, which is my other layer, and now it will perfectly move with the other one. So there's use cases for both of those things. And now if I just place this gently where I want it. So yeah, we have a shades layer now. That's kind of a fun little addition. So, you know, you're probably not going to want this on all the time now. So if I tick this or untick this, that's gone now. It's invisible. I can toggle that however I like. But we could also have hotkeys. So if I add a hotkey here, I can click to say S for shades. I can also do Control S. And now if I press Control S, oh hang on. So I can set this up so I can now say I want both layers to be visible when I press this hotkey. So if I now close this and press Control S, the shades appear. And there was a timeout of 5 seconds. So you can see that's going to, if I press it again, that's going to appear for 5 seconds and then hide itself again. Go back to the way it was before I pressed the hotkey. There's this toggle tick here, so that means I can actually press it as many times as I like without that timeout. And if I turn that off, then if I spam the key, it's just going to keep going until that 5 seconds runs out. Obviously, if you turn this both off, that's there for good now, so probably don't want to do that. But the option's there if you felt like it. Okay, so that's there basically. Now we also have some advanced options. We've got a background color, so if you feel like you want to green screen this, you can set that to being perfectly green, which I somehow managed to click on. So there's that option. Also, if you are using capture software with the ability to capture transparency, you can tick this transparent box and it will just be transparent without needing to green screen it. So that's quite a good, useful option there. And that is everything I have to show you. So I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know if you need any changes done. I'll probably be around to do them. So yeah, but that's the thing. Enjoy.